Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Franco with Dream Big Media. I just wanted to create this video to help you guys out, sound like a boss whenever you're in front of your prospect or client that you're trying to close. Whether it's a sales presentation or you have a proposal, these are the 5 questions I ask every single lead or prospect to position myself correctly to make myself appear as the authority figure on marketing and that I am the person that's going to take their business to the next level. Okay. And the way you position yourself that way is by taking control of the conversation. And the way you take control of the conversation is by asking the right questions. Okay. So you always have to ask at least these 5 questions, even regardless of or whether or not you actually have an idea for what the marketing plan is going to be. You cannot develop a good marketing plan for their business without knowing these 5 things. Okay. And it also positions yourself well in that you're taking control of the conversation and leading them down the path that you want to take them. Okay, so if you're gonna ask for them like $1,000, $1,500, or $2,000 a month retainer, you have to make sure that you're bringing ideas to the table and they see you as the person that can actually take their business to where they want to be. Okay, so with that being said, in no particular order, these are the questions that I ask. Okay, so the first thing is a value ladder. All right, they absolutely need a value ladder. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The value ladder is so important. Now, when you go into a business and you're speaking with the business owner, they have to understand what a value ladder is, but you don't have to be arrogant in the way that you actually present it to them. Okay, so don't use competitors as an example. Don't give them analogies based off of what their competition is doing. Choose a complementary niche, okay, that is similar in structure to their business and how they operate it. Okay, and then actually help them bring that value to the table right off the bat. If they don't have a value ladder, or they don't know what it is, help them develop one right then and there. Okay, only use a few minutes, but just give them some ideas, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like this conversation in and of itself was valued at 1,000, 15, or $2,000 a month, just because you added something that they didn't. You had a different set of eyes that brought something to their business that they maybe have never done before, and if they see it as a good idea and it's going to generate another source of revenue for them, that's going to be huge in actually getting them to actually work with you. Okay, so that's going to be important. The second thing is customer avatar. So with the customer avatars, a lot of the clients that I've worked with in the past, they have tried to do, because I use it as a criteria, that they've had to have advertising. They're either using billboard or radio or some sort of other advertising budget, right? So those are the clients that I like to work with, people that I don't have to convince to do online marketing for. They see the value in it and then they just need help with it. Okay, but in any case, sometimes they'll say, because they've done Facebook advertising before, they'll try to bring a bias and say, like, this is the targets that you should use. These are the ad sets that you should use. These are the interests that my customers have, right? We want to squash that right off the bat, okay? We want to come, again, to the table that you are the marketing expert. So instead of asking them of, what are their ad sets, what are the stuff like that they've done in the past that has been effective for them, we want to just eliminate that right off the bat and just say, listen, I want to know her name. Okay, what is your customer? Where do they hang out? Does she have children? Like, who is she married to? How is she employed? Like, what kind of demographics are we talking about here? And if they still bring that bias to the table, then what I would suggest is actually take the last 10, 15, even up to 30 transactions of whatever service or product that they're running the contest or the offer for the campaign that you're going to actually run for them. And so, for instance, a dentist, they might have teeth whitening as a campaign. So, look in the past 10 to 15 to 30 different transactions and figure out for yourself who those customers are. Okay, because she might say, my customer base is, I want people that are 18 years old to 65 years old. I want everybody. Okay, that's not going to be effective for her. So just look through her transactional history if she actually is willing to divulge that information to you, and then figure out for yourself who that customer avatar is, because chances are a lot of business owners don't even think that way. Okay, especially if they are really have not taken marketing on as something that's important for their business and their business growth. Okay, so the third thing is that you want to make sure that they have that effective sales process. Okay, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Good marketing is always paired to an effective sales process, and if they don't have a sales process in place, I would help them with that, right? And if they're not willing to budge and how they're actually going to do the sales process and the follow-up process, then I would walk away and go to the next customer, because if they're not willing to do that, then chances are they're not going to be following up with the customers. Okay, they want you to be a one-stop shop for their entire marketing, sales needs and stuff. And if they're not actually willing to budge and actually implement what tactics and strategies you're going to offer them in terms of having an effective sales process, then it's not going to be a good long-term relationship anyway. Okay, so those are the three. The fourth one is make sure that you find out what their most profitable product or service is. Okay, this is really important, because if you are going to be asking for $1,000 a month retainer, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 a month retainer, obviously you're going to have to not only cover the expense of yourself, but then you're going to actually have to be making them profit. Okay, so if they are paying you $1,000 and they're paying $500 in ad spend, that's $1,500 coming out of their pocket every single month, right? So you have to generate at least, on the very minimum, $1,500 in sales for them every single month, just to cover your expenses. But what's the point then if they're not making any profit, right? Because you have to keep in mind, all of their services, they have some sort of cost attached to it. So even if you're generating revenue of $1,500, that's not taking into account the actual cost of whatever it is their product or service is. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're generating profit of $1,500 to cover your expenses. Okay, which is very different than revenue. All right, and then over and above that, there's got to be additional profit that they're making to actually keep you on board and see you as a a worthwhile expense. Okay, so make sure you are selling their highest ticket item or product or service, so that they're actually generating a good amount of profit. Because if you're selling $35 sales for them, $20 sales for them, you're gonna have to generate, like, I don't know, 100, 200 sales every single month in order for them to keep you on board, right, and actually make some profit off of your services. So if you think about it that way, even if you have like a good conversion rate of, say, 20%, you're gonna have to bring in, like, I don't know the math on that, but like 1,000 leads in order to actually convert 20% of them into sales to generate enough income on a low ticket item to actually keep you on board. That's a lot of work for you to do. Okay, so much better to actually have higher ticket items so that you can easily make a smaller percentage of sales but still cover your expenses and give them profit as well. Okay, and then the last question that you're going to have to ask them is what is their objective? What is their call to action? Okay, now the reason you say this is because you got to think, like, everybody, especially if you're advertising on Facebook, everything is done on your thumbs. Okay, like, people are literally on Facebook, they're sitting on the toilet and they're just scrolling through their newsfeed, and then they click on an ad, and then they go to a landing page, and if they like the landing page, they'll watch a video, maybe press the play button on that. They might opt in, input their name, email, phone number, right? And then on the call to act, or I call it the call to action page, the thank you page, which hosts a very, very strong call to action, then if you're asking them to actually call somebody, you're taking them into an entirely different element there. Okay, because everything so far has been done on their thumbs. They literally had to have no interactions with anybody. And you just think, even in today's day and age, text messages are replacing phone calls. Like, everybody gets pissed off when they get a phone call. It's distracting. It's disruptive. Okay, so instead you just want to text somebody and just get the same information across without actually having to engage one-on-one and speak to somebody, especially a stranger. So if you're actually urging them to make a phone call on the thank you page, then you're going to lose a lot of your customers there. Okay, so if that's the way they want to do it, then that's the way you got to do it. And you got to have some strong incentive on the thank you page in order for them to actually want to call a complete stranger, a complete business at that, and schedule a strategy call, or book an appointment, or whatever it is. Okay, so you have to make sure that the call to action is actually reasonable with whatever she's willing to offer. Okay, because if you don't get the information, from them, that and you don't explain what I just explained to you to them, then you know, you're going to be developing this awesome marketing plan for them, only to find out that nothing's converting because the call to action is so ludicrous compared to the offer that's actually being given away to the prospective customers. Okay, so those are the 5 questions that I ask every single client or lead or whenever I get in front of a prospect, to control the conversation, position myself as an expert, and to you know, in their eyes, make them believe that I am the person that's going to take them to the next level. And this is a longer, you know, video, so hopefully it helps you guys. I hope you learned something from it. But one other thing that I want to point out here is the words "I believe." Okay, so make sure that you're utilizing that in your sales pitches. When you say "I believe," that is not fact. Okay, that's that's you just stating your strong belief into something. They can't disagree with that. Okay, when you say "I think," when you say "I feel," when you say you know, all that stuff, you know, similar like jargon, they can disagree with those things. Okay, you may think that, but it's not accurate. You know what I mean? When you say "I believe," it's like Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. I believe, right? Like nobody can disagree with your belief. But the way you say it is that you are, you know, coming across as like you are, you know what you're talking about. You have a strong, firm belief into that, and that you're portraying that into, you know, the person that you're speaking with. So when I say I believe that all websites are going to become obsolete by the year 2020, right? They can't disagree with that. And every business is going to have a sales funnel instead. They can't disagree with that. Okay? I believe, and it comes off as fact. It comes off as fact to them, even though I never said it was a fact. Okay? I say I strongly believe. I believe that all websites are going to become obsolete and everybody's going to have a sales funnel. So you should adopt a sales funnel, right? So hopefully this helps you guys. If there's anything you need, or if you found this video helpful at all, just comment below. If you have any questions for me at all, you can always hit me up directly as well, okay? So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Good luck to you, and let me know how you guys fare in your sales pitches, okay? All right, guys, keep it real. Peace out, and always dream big. Peace.